Well, hey, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for being here tonight at our Connect group. My name is Dominic Insenius. I'm the leader here at the Heart, and I'm so grateful for you to be a part of our vision that we have. And it's really to connect with each other throughout the week, to be able to be in each other's lives, to be in each other's messes. And we believe that happens best in these groups. So I want to encourage you tonight, whether it's your first time or you've been coming to a group a while, that when you share from your heart things that are going on in your life, it helps all of us grow in our journey of faith. It helps all of us to take steps towards becoming more and more of the people that we want to be and more of the people that God has created us to be. Now, we are still in our series that we have been in here at the Heart called Essence. And this past week, what we did is we talked a little bit about church. Coming to church, being at church, the importance of that, maybe what's not important about it. And if you weren't able to be there or you don't even go to church here, you can always listen to the podcast if you want. But even if you don't do that, you can still be a part of the conversation this evening. So we looked at a couple different scriptures on Sunday, and I'm going to have them up here on the screen in a little bit. But the first one I want to do is I want to dig into this first question. It has to do with something in your life. So what I want you to do is reflect on your life, and I want you to describe a time with a person or a time at a place or a situation where you felt like you were forced to be there. A time when you were forced to be a part of something or forced to hang out with somebody or to be with somebody against your will. It was something you didn't want to do. You wish you could have done something else, but you felt forced to do it. And how that affected you and your connection with that place, or how it affected you and your connection with that person. Maybe it's somebody in your life. Maybe it was, school or camp or church or whatever it happens to be, where you felt forced. You felt like you didn't have a choice, and how that has affected you in that relationship with that place or that group of people or that person. So let's take a few minutes to dig into that and see what you guys think. All right, for this next question, I want us to read one of the scriptures that we have. If you haven't already, it's Galatians 6, verses 2 and 3. And remember to explore a couple different translations and versions of the Bible here. It helps us to get a good understanding of what the author was trying to say. So after we read this scripture, what I want to be able to do is find out from you, when is the last time, or when was a special time where you felt you helped people around you or someone around you carry their troubles? Carry something that was weighing on them emotionally or mentally or spiritually or perhaps physically. And then maybe the other side of that is, when is a special time when someone helped you carry some troubles that you had in your life? And either one of those, I want to know how that affected your connection with that person. Maybe you wanted someone to help and they didn't, and it affected that disconnection with that person. So I want to take some time to dig into that, and remember to share from your heart. And if you're not ready to share, then don't. You can still be a part of this conversation and be a listener and still grow in your faith. So let's take some time to be bold and brave and to see what we have here. All right, now for question 3 tonight, what I want to know is, when we look at throughout the Bible from the beginning to the end, when we look at the words of Jesus, when we look at the gospel, the New Testament, all of that, rarely does church attendance show up as something that is vitally important. Yet, it is something that we in our society view as important. It's almost like we judge how well we're doing spiritually based on our church attendance. Sometimes we apologize for not coming to church when we were just spending the day with our family or enjoying a day off. There's something about that church attendance actually being there on Sunday that we feel like we have to do. So why, if it's not mentioned so much in our Bible, in the Holy Scriptures, in the text, do we find it so valuable? Why do we view it as so vitally important in our growth, in our faith? And maybe what I want to know from you is, when it comes to church, talking about church, what is the essence of church to you? Right, in this series, we're talking about the essence of things. And that's what we're trying to dig into, is the essence of church. So I want to know from you, what do you believe? What do you think the essence of church is for you? So let's take some time to dig into that. And remember, there's no right or wrong answers. We're all just trying to figure this life out together. And the power of this community is we're willing to get into each other's messes together. So let's dig through this. All right, now for the last question tonight, what I want to do is be able to reflect upon what the essence of church might be. I want to be able to reflect upon, what do we think is important when it comes to church. And for us here at the Heart, it's not really a secret what we think is important. In fact, I often say on Sunday that if people have to choose between coming to church on a Sunday or going to connect groups, I would always rather have them come to connect groups. I feel like that's where the power and the faith growth comes in, is in these groups. So what I want to know from you is this week, how can you change your mentality maybe to focus less on being at church and more on being there for the people that are in your life? Who around you needs connection? Who around you needs a listening ear, needs help carrying the burdens that they carry? And maybe who can you invite? Maybe one of the things is, who can you invite to group this next week? You know, when we invite people along in our journey of faith, it means more to them than you might think it does. Sometimes we think that we are putting people off or, trying to convince people. But really, when we invite people to be a part of our life, not just to come to church, we can invite them to come to church. But if we stop at saying, will you attend church with me? Then we're missing out on the essence of church. So when we invite people to not just come to church with us, but to be a part of our life, that's when we are stepping into what the essence of church can be. So who can you invite to group with you next week or in the next couple of weeks? So this is the last question for tonight. So I want to leave you with this here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I love being able to live this life with you and to share this faith with you. So we are continuing our series this week in Essence, and I want to be able to encourage you to invite someone along your journey of faith this week. Invite them to come with you. Buy them lunch, take them out for coffee, whatever it is. Show them that they matter to you. And I hope you guys have a great time doing that. So love you too much, and we'll talk to you soon.